Yo! What's going on, guys? Haven't wore this shirt as far as I'm aware in a video yet here. Back at it with another banger video. In today's video, we're going to be predicting the 2024 XXL freshman class. I did a video for it last year for the 2023 class, where I predicted them, got 0 out of 10. And I'm doing it again. I originally wasn't going to do this video, but the 2024 video, I believe it was the reaction one actually, not the predictions, has had this insane spike in views like last month, so I've decided to do it. Apologies if the energy's a bit off in this video. I was just recording for 45 minutes for a video that's going on the second channel this Sunday. But without further ado, let's get right into the news. I gave myself a rule for this video. I'm not allowed to predict anyone I predicted last year. Or anyone that I can remember I predicted last year. As far as I'm aware, the list of 10 people I've got in front of me isn't... Okay. Now, let's hope I get at least one right. My first prediction is Dignan. He's been left out the last 2 years. Surely he gets one. No, I'm playing. Four bats is my first prediction. I think he's a pretty easy one to predict. It was kind of like how I predicted Ice Spice for last year's list. The only situation where I see four bats not making the list is four bats himself turning the list down, because if we're being real, I don't really think the guy needs it. But I think the guy could get it. I think, at the very least, I think if he gets it, he's going to be one of those that's like an Ian Dior. He doesn't do a freestyle, he doesn't do a cypher, etc. Okay, second on the list, I've got another pretty obvious one. That is Lil Mabu. Another one where he could have been included, like 2022, 2023. He's another one that I don't really think needs it, and doesn't really deserve it either. But the guy's massive blow up in recent years, whilst it was manufactured by the industry, it is still kind of insane. Honestly, on this list of the people I'm predicting, I hope Lil Mabu doesn't get in, because his music's crap. But I could see it happening, especially with the popularity. Like, every single this guy drops is massive. So, we'll see. Third on the list, I've got Ian. Ian, I hadn't heard about Ian until like 2 weeks ago. And now the entire internet knows who Ian is, and it's like, I just feel out of touch. But if you don't know who Ian is, Yeet from Wish. But yeah, he's had some big hits in the underground recently. His new album was talked about, I believe Fantana reviewed it. I reviewed it first, and I pretty much said the exact same thing he did, so he copied me. But yeah, Ian, I wouldn't mind seeing him off the list, because currently with these first three, like, the freestyles would be terrible. Imagine, I could actually see Lil Mabu doing a double XL freestyle, but like, imagine Ian of fallbacks as one. It'd be terrible. Okay, fourth on the list, we've got one that's a bit of a self-indulgent pick, one that I want to see, and that is Caribou, rapper from Detroit, I believe. She doesn't actually have a single project out, but she has a few songs, and she was a massive part of the Concrete Boys album. And I think if they're going to include a female rapper this year, I think Caribou is probably the most logical, besides like Sexy Red, but Sexy Red like doesn't need it. But yeah, Caribou's got bangers on bangers. Like, if you haven't heard the Concrete Boys album, go listen to it. It's so much fun. And Caribou should 100% make the list, just based off what she was doing on there. Okay, continuing the Detroit theme for number 5, I've got V's. I don't really personally like V's all that much. He kind of just sounds like a worse version of Lucky to me. But, you know, with the year he just had, like, with his Ganger album. It just makes sense for him to be on the list. Yeah. Okay. Next one, Cash Dammy. He's someone that I've been expecting to see on the list for like 4 years now. The guy's still like 12. I don't know. Yeah, he dropped a mixtape this year. I didn't really care for it, but he's had bangers in the past. I mean, judging by this list so far, like, none of these guys would drop a good freestyle. Okay, next, Rich Amiri. He had a massive hit last year, although I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that he was, like, stream botting. He has a few songs with Lil Tech, I think. I like those songs. I think not the second album he dropped last year, because I never actually listened to that, but the first one he dropped with the red album cover, I can't remember the name. That was pretty cool. Just a pretty decent melodic rap artist. Yeah, okay. Next, That Mexican OT. I'm not gonna lie, I've not really got onto That Mexican OT wave yet, but with the hype around him, I could see him making the list as I think out of the people I've predicted, if there was to be a 10th place prediction as well, I think it'd be That Mexican OT. I think his music's just he's kind of that kind of guy, you know? He just makes fun music. So, yeah. I have been meaning to listen to him. He had a song with, was it Paul Wall last year that was pretty good? And I also know he got a song with DaBaby earlier this year, but I've not listened to that yet. I've been meaning to get onto the That Mexican OT tape, and I just haven't yet. This next one is probably the most insane take of my entire list. I could see myself getting climbed on for it. J-Eazy. I honestly want to see J-Eazy on the list. I think he'd be so much fun. Like, you know, if you don't know who he is, he's a drill artist, kind of. He kind of fluctuates between drill and melodic rap, but like, he's had a few massive hits, you know, Tomioka and that. He's got bangers, I don't care. And I think his freestyle will be a lot of fun. He's what the culture's feeling. Nah, I want J-Eazy on the list. That would like make my year. Just so much fun. Okay, next for my final prediction, but I actually kind of like have had a thought in my head that isn't on this list that should make the list, so I'll be saying him after Edward. Okay, Edward Skeletrix. Just insane music. I honestly, I don't really think he will make the list because I almost feel as if he's too experimental for XXL, but like, the guy just makes insane music. Like, I can't even really describe Edward Skeletrix. Like, I guess it's kind of like, by the time I get to Phoenix Era Injury Reserve meets like Opium, it's just insane. I'd love to see him on the list. I don't think he'll make it. I'm pretty sure he's the smallest artist in terms of monthly listen count and stuff on this list, but I think with the cult following he has, you know, I could see him being like a 10th spot inclusion. I don't know what the vote is because I've not actually looked at the vote. Okay, and my final prediction that is just came up in my head. I was only going to do 10, but I mean, in recent years we've had like 20 people on the class or something. BLP Kosher needs to be on this list. Like, again, another meteoric rise. And they already had Babytron on a list a couple of years back, I think. I can't remember. Was he on last year's one or 2022's? I can't quite remember. I'd have to go check. But BLP Kosher's a lot of fun. I think if he were to be on the list, he'd be the most talented rapper on the list. His inclusion just makes a lot of sense as well. I think his freestyle would be fire. He'd be so far in the cypher, you know. Okay, so those are my predictions. Would I be happy with this as the class? I honestly think it would be better than last year's one. Like, last year's class was so bad that I think it's only up from here. And I think some of the people I said would be really great for the list. You know, I'd love to see Caribou. I'd love to see G-Eazy. I'd love to see BLP Kosher. You know, I think Edward Scaltrix would be a lot of fun on the list, even if it would be stupid. Okay, but that's the video. I hope I get more than one right this time, because I got 0 last time. Sorry if this video is a bit on the short side. You know, I've been trying to, like, edit the main channel videos. Not, like, edit as in, like, at a computer. I mean, like, get a bit shorter, you know, because I don't know if you've noticed, I've been trying to upload more frequently on here. But dropping, like, 2-hour-long videos every day isn't exactly feasible for me. But yeah, that's the video. Let me know down below who you think's going to be on the class. Leave a like if you liked. Please subscribe and please not cry. No, please subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. I've been uploading more frequently recently, like I just said. All sorts of music stuff on here. It used to just be a rap channel, but now I talk about everything. Also go hit up the album of the year page. I do written reviews on there, and I've written reviews for most of the artists I've talked about today. And I will be writing reviews of albums that whoever ends up on the list will be releasing. I'll review them. I also go help the second channel. I've got a video coming out there on Sunday. Please subscribe to that as well. It's a bit different. It's just me messing about. But that'll be me. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.